right, do we have audio now? Let's see. Do we have audio? No audio. Oh man. Here we go. We have audio? You can hear me? I'm not showing it as having audio. Oh, there's audio. Whew. All right. So, man, I said all that stuff and nobody knows what I said. So let me see if I can remember what I said. Thank you, Sharon. I'm glad somebody got on. Otherwise, I'd have gone the whole video with no sound and not even known. That would have been really terrible. All right. So let me start. Let me think. So it's Wednesday. It's Paper Pumpkin Playdate. I'm sorry I'm late. I had a muscle spasm, or I have a muscle spasm going on in my lower back. So showering, all that good stuff was slow going. Yeah, are you laughing? I know. Give me some total laughing emojis because this is just, it's Wednesday. It's not even Monday. It's not allowed to do this. All right. So then I was talking about bonus days. And with Paper Pumpkin, if you do prepaid, if you do at least 6 months prepaid, you get not only a discount, but you'll get a $5 coupon back to redeem in August. I was also saying that with those coupon codes, make sure you keep them safe. What I do is I copy and paste them into a Word doc that says bonus days only, bonus day coupons, and then I save them all there as well as saving those emails. And how do I know to do this? Yes, I was one of those people that the first year I deleted that email on accident, called the company. They don't have record of it. I think it's just automatically generated. They don't keep records on who gets what coupons. I mean, the figuring that out would just be a logistical nightmare. So I can totally understand that they don't. It's just automatically generated. You get a coupon code, save it someplace else. I used to write it down. This year I thought I'm going to do a Word doc that says all capital letters, bonus coupons, bonus days coupons, saved them all in there, and that way I can copy and paste them into my order in August. And then those people who signed up for the trucking along class, the truck class, and paid the $50 for the class and this bundle will get one of my coupon codes. All right, so you'll get a $5 coupon code to redeem in August. And then I was showing, ouch, yeah, that move hurts. I never know what's gonna hurt. All right, so then I was showing one of my cute little trucks and an almost finished card. It's not finished, I just got the truck on there. So there'll be 3 cards, at least 2 fun folds, and then a scenery kind of card. Not scenery using the stamps, I think is what I meant to say. So it'll be fun. Join us. I have 2 open bundles. I have 2 bundles, 2 extra bundles coming, because when I ordered it and they were kept going out of stock and then in stock and out of stock, I just quickly put in the number 10 and boom, it was too many. It was too many. So I still have 2 extra bundles coming, and the bundle is currently unavailable. They're making stamps, but it's going to be later on in another week or so before they have it available. Can't wait to get yours. Yeah, I got mine. I expedited this set and I got it yesterday. And then the rest will be coming. They haven't shipped yet. So they had unexpected amounts of orders last Thursday when all this new online exclusives went live. And so they're a little bit behind on shipping things out. So be patient with that new computer system and then having these big days of lots of orders. I think they're still trying to work out all the bugs. So we just have to be patient. And I get it. It's hard. It took me 3 weeks to get my free shipping order. And hopefully it doesn't take 3 weeks to get this order, because I had to order some stuff to use for these and my card club, which is at the end of the month. So let's hope that it doesn't take too long. So that card club for July has closed, so you can no longer register for that. Yours shipped last night. Nice. I need to check. I checked yesterday. I think I checked yesterday afternoon and mine hadn't yet shipped, but they're coming. They are coming. They are working very hard to get everything out and to get this new system a lot smoother so that we're back to getting our products within 3 to 5 business days, which is what it traditionally was. And right now, traditionally, if you order before 11 o'clock in the morning, Mountain Time, then your order should ship that day. But again, with this new system, working out all the glitches and then these big ordering days that are unexpected, then it just makes it take a little bit longer, and we just have to be patient. So I am being patient. I put on my patience hat and I am being patient. It's really exciting and hard. I get it, but we have to be patient. We have to be patient. So during July are the bonus days. For every $50 you spend, you get a $5 coupon to redeem in August. All right. So it is Wednesday, therefore it's Paper Pumpkin Playdate. So let's go ahead and switch cameras because I have 2 really fun cards for you today. I'm going to turn this on. So this is our Paper Pumpkin box, and typically it comes looking like this with the polka dots. Sometimes when it's super special, I'll show you like this one with the in colors, it was decorative. And I have this handy because we're going to use one of the stamps from this one today because the sentiments in this one don't fit everything that I wanted to do. Because it's an all-inclusive kit, all you have to do is add scissors. Everything else is in the box to make the kit as designed. All right, when you do things like I do where I start doing alternates, then you're adding in other stuff and then it's no longer all inclusive. All right, so it comes with all the adhesive you need. It comes with an ink spot. This one was Night of Navy, so it always comes with at least one. Sometimes we get 2 of them in there. It's a great way to collect colors through all of our all-inclusive kits. The stamping kits from the kit collection also come with inks, some of them with 2 inks. It's a great way to stock up on different colors, and then instead of having to buy the regular size ink pad, all you have to do is get the refill, and you can just keep refilling this and it will work just as well and just as long as the foam ones. So I'm going to set this aside because I use these as giveaways in my classes when people bring friends, and I'll be using the regular size one. Then we have the photopolymer stamps that are exclusive to Paper Pumpkin. You can't get them anywhere else. Sometimes they coordinate with other products, which I'll be showing you today, but they don't, you can't buy them outside of your Paper Pumpkin kit. And then you always get in your very first kit subscription, you get a clear block to use. So you're sitting here cutting your beach card bases apart. Oh, nice. You got the boho one, boho beach. Yeah, I haven't gotten that one yet. I did order it. I'll have to wait for that as well. I ordered it with card club stuff, so I'm really hoping it comes in quicker than the last couple. So now when you get a bunch of these kits, so Paper Pumpkin, you get the block on your first kit and then you reuse it each time. When you do one of the other kits, I thought I had one handy. When you do one of the kit collection kits, then, yeah, I really thought I had one handy. Oh, there it is. It's under stuff. Then you get a block in each stamping kit. You can collect them and you can glue 2 of them together so that it's a little thicker. Otherwise, we do have the ergonomic blocks, and you can see it's the same size block, but this is just a little thicker and easier to hold. It's got this groove here. But I have customers and friends who have glued 2 of these together and it works just as well for them. And then their fingers aren't over, okay? But these do work. You just make sure you don't put your fingers in the ink. And because you're using a little Stampin' Spot, you would put your stamp on here and tap the ink on it, and then you don't have your fingers in the ink. If you use this on this, then you take a chance to dip your fingernails or your fingers in the ink. So when you are using this block, you want to make sure to put your stamp on there, all right? And normally what we suggest is you put the stamp down like that and you pick it up with the block, and then you're going to use your ink spot and tap the ink down onto the stamp. All right, so that's how you want to do that one. I don't think I've said that in a while. I just periodically have to remind people on how to do that for those that just use these. All right, so then we have our no-fail instructions, and I call them no-fail instructions because truly, as simple and easy as they are laid out, you really can't fail. You just can't. It would be impossible to not make it correctly. Okay, well, that's not completely true, I guess. And you can give me more laughing emojis because when we first made this card, I didn't pay attention to this being the tear and stick tape, and these are the foam adhesives, and so I did it wrong, and my first card is not popped up. So they're no fail if you follow the directions. You can fail, we won't call it a fail, but you can goof it up if you don't pay attention to the instructions. So when it's got the roll, it's the tear and tape, and when it's got the strips here, it is the foam adhesive strips that they have in this kit for you. All right, it shows you what ingredients go with each card, and then it shows you the cards in step-by-step order. Plus, there's even a ruler just in case you have some twine. This kit didn't have twine, but lots of kits do, and you have a ruler, so you don't even have to hunt down a ruler in your house. All you have to do is find one pair of scissors, because you do need that. On the back is what's all in the kit, the colors that coordinate with the kit, and then some ideas for some alternates in the kit. So super cute there. All right, so we're going to set that aside because I'm not using those. This was the original card, except this was supposed to be popped up on those dimensionals, so that was not correct, but that was my own mistake for not paying attention. And then this one, I did pop it up. You can see there's some dimension there. And so there's this one, and then there was this one, and this was not supposed to be popped up. All right, and then we did some alternates. So we used some embossing folders. We used one of the outlines. I guess I should usually keep that one with it. We used, where are they? Here they are. We used this outline. We laid it on some white paper, and then we used a blending brush and Calypso Coral ink to run that over it and change the colors. So you can go back to number 2, the Paper Pumpkin Playdate, June 2023, Welcome In number 2, and you'll see how this one was created. And then last week we did this one, and we used some more folders, embossing folders, to spruce this up, and this kind of followed the sketch for our team group page. All right, so this is the July sketch. All right, and then we have the Welcome In coordinated with the Countryside Corners. So we have this stamp set, Countryside Corners, which is one full stamp, but then it has all these dies that you can then cut out these pieces. And we're going to be doing that today for one of our cards. And then it also came with this embossing folder, all right, which I don't know if anyone has noticed, because I haven't seen so far anyone who's used this, I haven't seen them do it, but this embossing folder matches this paper perfectly. If you turn it around this way and you put it over here, you can line it up perfectly to where you can emboss that exactly. I'm going to be doing that next week. All right, and these are the papers in this. You can see I've already been using them for today's card. So here are the papers. So there's this side and that on the back. I love that stripe. Of course, it's on the back of that one. All right, and then this one, this is super cute. It's just a larger version of those little vases. And this is on the back. And then we have this one with the rabbits, which that rabbit would go with the sleigh, the one horse open sleigh. That would be a fun thing to put together. And then you have this pattern, and then you have the doves and these stripes, and then you have the foxes. And on some of these animal prints, I actually prefer the back side just because I don't have any stamps with that. And then this one has the trees, and then you have this fun, very fine little flower stripe. I got an itch. All right, so they all go together. And then there were also the dies. Now, I didn't get the dies. By the time I remembered to order them, they were gone because last week there was also a 50% off past Paper Pumpkin kits, past kit refills, and all the add-ons, and this was one of the add-ons, and I didn't get it. But you'll see today we're going to be tracing out one of the things and cutting it out, and it's not complicated at all. So I have here the ingredients, so let me just show you what I had left over. So what I did yesterday is I went through and I put all my ingredients that I had left into these envelopes because I do a Paper Pumpkin taste testing class where they can come and just kind of check out the Paper Pumpkin and see if it's something they want to do. I put 4 or 5 boxes, depending on how many people are here, on the table, and they can pick out 3 different cards from 3 different boxes or 3 from the same one. So I always like to have a little bit of extra, so I put these together for that. And then I looked and I said, okay, oops, oh, I can't I'm not going to reach down and get that. One of the little, that will take too long. One of the little sentiment pieces I had left over. And then I have all of these left over. These are the skeletons. And next week, if I don't get my kit on time, next week I'm going to show you some cards that we can make with this. And if I do get my kit before then, I might just do an extra live to show you how to use some of these to make some really cute cards. All right. Oh, I don't need to put those over there. I can put that over here, and then we're going to move this. So I'm bringing in this week, I'm bringing in a few extra items. Normally I try and use as much from the kit as possible for the first couple weeks, and then I bring in some extra. So we're going to start with this one, and I'm doing a fun fold today. So I have an extra envelope. I have some extra paper that I'm just going to use to put here on my envelope. And then these were some extras as well. And what I did is I cut this out of here to use. And then I have this piece left over from one of the other cards. That's all that was left. And then I have these. And then there are extra ones of these. So this is a piece of thick basic white cut at 5.5 by 8.5, scored at 4.5, and let me get my little cheat sheet here, scored at 4.5 and 7.25. So then you fold this down, and then you're going to fold this back. You can leave it loose, you can tack it down completely flat, or you can put dimensionals underneath so that it's not quite tacked down. And we'll figure out which way we're going to do that later. All right, so then I went ahead and I cut some paper. This one is 1 inch and by 1 inch by 5.5. All right. Or if you want it, if you don't want this, oops, it goes over here. If you don't want this big of a white border on each side, then you could cut it at 1 1/8 for a thinner white border. Let me go ahead and have you come in. This is a really cute new fun fold that I saw Susan Campfield do, and I'm hooked. All right, so we're going to do that, and then this one is actually cut to fit here where I also have the white border over on this side. Again, if you don't want that thick of a white border, then you'll just add 1/8 of an inch, and I will put these measurements in the comments below so that you can make this card too, because it's really, I think it's going to be really, really cute. All right, and then this was one of my extras too. I had 2 of these left over, so we're going to be putting it here, but I wanted some color on it, and the paper from the kit are all just blues. Well, that doesn't work, so what we're going to do is we're going to cut this in half and put it at each end, and no one will know that it doesn't go all the way through. All right, so we're just going to cut this in half like this, and then we'll be putting it at each end, and no one will know that it doesn't go all the way through, and I get to use up my scrap. instead of throwing it in the recycle bin. So fun, right? All right, so let's go ahead and attach some of these things. Oh, come on. Yep, still using up these almost empty bottles so that I can just put all new bottles out for my class people. And that way they don't have to mess with this. All right. So we're just going to put some glue there. And I'm going to put this one down here. So I want the same amount of space. Oh no, I want this to go all the way to the edge. All the papers are going to go all the way to the edge. So I want that to go all the way to the edge. And then this one will go all the way to the edge. But centered side to side. Okay, so it's centered side to side, but it goes all the way out to the edge. All right, and now this one, you want to make sure your flowers are in the right direction. And we want to also have it go edge to edge and leave that white border. All right, so that all the white borders are approximately the same. Are they going to be perfectly the same? No, because we're not human. I mean, we are human. We're not human. Woo! All right, it's Wednesday. It's the middle of the week. Is it the weekend yet? Because I think I'm getting ready for it. All right, so now we're going to put this one in here. And again, we want to have that white border over here. Don't worry about this over here because it's not really going to be seen. You want to make sure this white border is there. All right, so we're going to do that. Now, I could have, and maybe I should have, embossed this, the DSP, but I didn't. You could emboss all of it if you wanted. So it goes all the way to the edge and with the white border on the side, so from top to bottom, and then the white border, and that way all the white borders are fairly equal. All right, I think we probably could have cut this one a little wider so that it actually went up to this, because you'd have the white border here, you'd have a white border here and a here. So you could do a wider strip here. All right, and that way it butts up against this. I think that would have looked better. That's a lot of white at the moment, but most of it's covered up, so it really doesn't matter. But I think it would have looked cool to have the blue go all the way to this white. All right, so now let's see, while we're gluing and we've got the glue running, let's go ahead and do this. And again, I'm putting the white border on the side, and I've got it running top to bottom, just to kind of coordinate with the card. All right. Let's get these out of the way. All right, so here, bring in. All right, so now we have one of these that we're going to stamp, and I'm actually going to pop one out so that it doesn't accidentally get hit with the stamp. And I'm going to, instead of using this one, I'm going to use this one. So we haven't used that flower. So we've used this across the vases, we've used this to cover the vase, but we haven't used this little flower. So I wanted to use this little flower, and I'm going to go ahead and do it in the blue. And we're going to tap, and I'm just going to do it, no particular order. Up here, just kind of cover up some of that white. All right, let's see how that turned out. Now I've seen some where they have the flowers straight across. I wanted to mix it up, and we've been talking about the Delft, Sharon. This is actually the teapot, but I was not envisioning this pattern. So it is the blue and white. This was actually made in Germany, in West Germany. So that tells you how old it was, before the wall came down, when they had to distinguish between West and East Germany. So this was not what I had envisioned. I was seeing something that my mother had where it was all white and it had little blue flowers in a row. But that's not apparently what she gave me, and I'm not sure. I think it's actually, now that I started thinking about it, when I looked at this, it's a picture that she has that. But I'll have to ask her about the Delft. I don't know if this qualifies or is considered Delft or not, because it's not those little flowers, but it is the blue and white design. So I'll have to ask her what she thinks. She probably knows. That was still a little damp. It has been sitting on top of my fridge, so I had it in the pile of dishes last night for my son to wash, and my husband ended up doing it. All right, you know what? That's kind of... I'm going to take my blue brush, and I'm going to look and see what colors are in this paper. We have Balmy Blue, Boho Blue, Misty Moonlight. So I'm going to take the Boho Blue, and I'm going to add some color to this, because that blue and white stark like that doesn't work for me. So let's kind of just make it, oh, I like that. Let's make it a light blue. So it's a Boho Blue. This is one of our new in colors, is the Boho Blue. And so then, oh yeah, I like that. I think that really helped, instead of making, because there's already a lot of white, so I really like the idea of doing that. That worked. That was not part of my plan for today's card. All right, but that's okay. So then we're going to be popping it up on dimensionals, and I like to, for this, just because of the shape, I like to use my regular dimensionals, and I've been using 4 of them, top and bottom, side to side, because it's so round. I just find that it just makes it a little sturdier. So we're going to be doing that like that. Oh, how cute that looks. I like that. And then I had planned, and we all know sometimes plans don't work, I had planned to do this across here with friend inside, and I was going to go ahead and grab that hello. Where did I get that small hello from? I think that was from the Ladybug stamp set. Sorry, my head's in the way. Yes. We're going to use the hello again from this and just do hello friend. Friend. Here we go. So what was on there, the piece that was on there, actually did say hello friend. All right, I'm going to do those as 2 separate ones instead of trying to connect them, because it's not wanting to cooperate with me. There's another little one. See, having all these little size blocks really is nice. All right, so we are going to stick this down so that it's set like this. All right, there we go. Line that up, and then I'm going to go ahead and put some glue on this, on the thicker parts, just enough so it stays down, but I don't have to have a ton of it. All right, and I'm going to get those trusty tweezers. All right, and we're going to put that right there, like that. That gives us a little more color, so it's not just blue and white, blue and white, blue and white. We have the flowers that are colored. We have this calypso coral. We have this calypso coral. So then we will, in the Night of Navy, do hello. And then do friend. And yes, it's 2 different fonts, but it works. It totally works, right? Doesn't that work? Comment, it works. All right, if you were that different, that what I was thinking. What's different than what you were thinking, Sharon? Your kit that you're working on while you watch, or what I'm doing? All right, so now what we'll do is take this over here and we're going to glue it on here. All right, so we're just gluing down the center, so I want to make sure to just put my adhesive down the center, not to, actually I think I'm going to do it on here just to make sure. And I want to have a little bit on here, not too high, but that way I know I've got it correct. Here we go. And I've got it centered on there. All right, so now we can glue this flat down, or we can pop it up on dimensionals and give it a little lift. I think I'm going to glue it flat down just because then it won't be raising this at an angle. So let's go ahead and glue this part down. I saw Susan did it where she had some dimensionals underneath, like a strip from your edge. However, she didn't have as big of a piece here. If I were to have something smaller and it wasn't hanging up over so much, then I would be inclined to put it on dimensionals. But because I've got it like that, so this is kind of a flat card. So now I'm kind of wishing that we had embossed it. So if I were to make this again, I would probably emboss this and this for sure, and these ends, and maybe this as well. I would probably leave this flat, or I would emboss it with the painted textures. But I think that this would be spiced up if you were to add embossing to it, and then maybe even a bow. Actually, we could grab some white. I think it needs a bow. So I have some white. It almost looks like linen thread, but I'm not sure. And I'm going to try something new. So I'm doing a couple loops on each end and then going to try and tie a bow. I saw someone did this, except they had one of those wood dowel things where they could, the ribbon maker. And so let's see if I can figure out how to tie it like this. Maybe it goes around twice. I don't know. I'm just giving it a whirl to see. That would give me a knot there. I like the idea of the multiple loops. It was really cute. It was a cute bow. Oop. Let's see. All right, so somehow, probably shouldn't be trying this kind of a new bow on a live, so let's just go with the usual bow and I'll have to play with that. If I figure out how to make it work without one of those wood dowel bow maker things, then I will show you how I did it. But it was super cute, the bow. It was a great way to give, yeah, I think that's exactly what this needed. Actually, there is another way, so you can take it and do it in half, and this way you get two bows and 2 strings, which would also be cute. No, I don't know what I did there. All right, I guess I need to practice that. Let's just go with a plain old bow. My teapot. Oh, you think that that would classify? Oh no, you think that's what you think was different. Okay. Yeah, I was picturing just the little blue flowers in a row, which my mom does have, but I don't know. I guess we could also just Google it, right? Delft. I'm sure even if we don't spell it correctly, it'll figure out what we're trying to go with. So we need some glue dots, which you always have. These are extra from past paper pumpkin kits, so I always have glue dots like this. I do order the box, but I tend to just use these most of the time. So just pop that on there with your paper pumpkin tool. Your take your pick tool. Oh boy, and it's Wednesday. It's not even a Monday. It's Wednesday. Do you think I'm ready for the weekend? Here we go. Oh, I really like that. That just really added something to it. All right, we still have another card to make, so I need to get my booty in gear. All right, and then we will use 3 of these little enamel dots. All right, cute. That really came out cute. I love how the bow and adding in the boho blue just really went over the top for me. Now, the only thing that would make it way better would be if we had embossed. I love it. All right. Isn't that a cute card? I love it. All right, so I have another fun fold card for you, except this time we're going a little bit masculine, because masculine cards are sometimes hard to make masculine. So this one we're going a little bit masculine with. All right, so I have in here my envelope, and then I have some vellum. Yep, I'm bringing in some vellum. All right, I have the stripe paper, and that's going to go in here. And this is the other side of that one. So I have the stripe paper here, and then I have another stripe, which is the other side of that one, that's going to go up here. And again, if you want less of a border around this, then you could cut your pieces 1/8 of an inch bigger. And that way you'll have less of a border. I'm going to go ahead and glue this on. That way it's done. And again, we could emboss it and make it a stepped up card. But I am also looking at your time and don't want to take up too much of your time. So I'm using Misty Moonlight. All right, we are not gluing this piece down. It's going to fold up like that. And then we're going to do this one and go ahead and adhere it. So you can always spice up your card or take it up to the next level by embossing the DSP or embossing the cardstock. All right, so embossing just takes your card up a notch to the next level. Today I was just trying to keep it a little bit simpler. So here is that other piece like this, but we're going to turn it over. All right, and before we do any more, we are going to bring in our stamp set, the Countryside Corners. We need to peel this. You got to get your finger right under there so you don't peel it apart with those clings. And then we need to bring in our big blocks since we don't have the Stamparatus anymore. Boo-hoo. I still have the Stamparatus, but I'm not going to use it. I'm going to show you how to do it for real. All right, so I have a piece of cardstock here that I cut big enough for it to go on here. And when you have a large stamp like this, you really want to, hold on, let me get some scrap paper. All right, you really want to leave it flat and ink it like this, just like you would if you were using these. When you have a big stamp, when your stamp is bigger than your ink pad, you just want to do that. And I am just tapping lightly. I'm not smushing it down. I'm just tapping it lightly to make sure I get full, even coverage. I'm going to turn this over. This is the Misty Moonlight that I'm using. And then what I do is I like to lay this on here and then put this over it and smooth it out. It's a little easier than manhandling that big block, all right? So you can do that, and then we'll pick it up like that. All right, so that's one way to do it. You can take the block, manhandle it, and set it down. Either way works. All right, so I'm going to set this aside so that I don't get my fingers in it. All right, so there's that. And then what we're going to do is we're going to take the dies and we're going to cut it out with the die machine. All right, so let's bring in the die machine. I'm going to zoom out a little bit for you so you can see how this is done. All right, so we need plate 1, 2, and 3. Here we go, 1, 2, and 3. We're going to lay this on here like this. We're going to put this down, and we're going to take these dies and we're going to lay them on here like that. So center that one. I don't know whether to center them from the outside in or from the inside out. We'll probably have to, let's see, I'm thinking from the inside out is going to be better. Oh, you know what? Some of those are blurry, so I must have moved the cardstock. So before we do this, let's go ahead and try it the other way and see if I do a better job. We'll just stamp it on the back. I just noticed I must have touched it, or not touched it. I must have moved it. And that can happen. So sometimes it is easier, but again, you want to use your ink onto the stamp, and then we're going to turn this beast over. And then stamp. Don't press. I'm just making sure it's firmly. You don't want to press too hard because these are delicate designs, and if you press them, they can smush, and then they get fat and they don't look as crisp. All right. Okay, so here we go. Now, let's go ahead and we're going to work from the inside out. And I'm going to, got something in my eye. I'm going to use my little Post-it notes to hold things down. All right, that's the best way when you have this many. So I'm going to do 1. And then 2. And then, oops, wrong one. And then this one. So you want to get it as centered as possible. And then this one. So yes, working from the outside, from the inside out is definitely way better. Now, you don't always have to cut these out like this. You can just leave that stamped. Let's see if it makes a difference which direction. All right, and then the last one. So I haven't really felt like I needed my Post-its. So let's see. Now this is a little banner, but I'm not. I want that as a piece to use, so I don't want to cut that out. So I'm going to stick this down, and let's see if I can make it just work. All right. So I now am holding it there so that nothing moves until it catches all of them, and then excuse me, and then I can let go. So I did not need the Post-it notes, but if you need the Post-it notes, by all means use them. I have used them for many other things in the past when things move, but in this case things were not moving, So I did not need them. So I'm going to take all those off. And then we'll take this off. And of course, if you want different colors, you can either use markers to do all different colors for everything, which I think would take a long time, or you can just do full sets of different colors and then mix and match. So here are all the pieces. So now if you don't want all pieces and you're just, it's not coming up. If you don't want all the different borders, then you can just do the one. So I need, whoops, I need this one. Yeah, I need this one as a full one, and I did not bring enough paper. All right, I did not grab enough paper for that. Where is it? Nope, hang on 1 second. Oh. I thought I had another piece up here, but apparently I did not. So let me just cut a piece off real quick. All right, so I need this piece as a whole piece for our card without, here we go, so that I have a solid. So if you cut them without all the rest, then it will give you a whole one. If you cut them with all of the designs, with all the with all the dies, is what I'm trying to say, then of course you get all those borders. All right, but I needed some of the borders, but I also needed a solid piece. So now I have a solid piece. So when you cut with them singly, they cut solid pieces. All right, let's move that out of the way because I made a mess. All right, so here we go. Now, this one. All right, so I wanted this border, but I didn't want the flowers, and what I'm doing, it couldn't cover the flowers. So we're going to do that, and then we're going to do this one together like this on the inside. Whew, have a little flea fly flew. All right. Here we go. I'm just trying to put that back in there. Let's see. All right, then the idea is to line these up. There we go. Like that. So you see the pattern. All right, from behind. All right, so we're going to glue this in, and I'm going to start with, there we go, I got that flea fly flew. Impressive, right? All right, so I'm going to start with this, and I'm going to outline it because this is what you'll be able to write on. So I'm not going to put glue in the center of it. And then we will line that up like that. These lines are deceiving, so you got to really look at this line here and the outside edge. And then I'm going to put some glue along this. Not too much because you don't want it to sploosh out. So I was watching a gal yesterday. She just called it seeping. And I was like, seeping? I hadn't even thought of it as seeping. To me, it's a sploosh. To Jackie Bullheis, it's a goosh. I guess to everybody, it's something different. All right, so now we have that done. All right. And then we're going to use these for this one. So we want the long one because I never did it with the other one, so I'm going to do it for this one. And then we have here. And then what we're going to do is I saw Michelle Litweiler do a video, a live, and she was doing alternates for this kit, and she had a friend who said that this vase looked like a fishbowl. So she made a fishbowl out of it, but she used paper from the Gone Fishing set. And I have that paper, but I don't have the stamp set or anything. So I decided I was going to make a fishbowl as well. And there's different ways you can do the fish. You can use the fish, I'll show you, from the Whale Done stamp set if you have it. It's no longer available. It's a retired stamp set. I haven't gotten rid of mine yet, so I do have it. Oop. I want to make sure, I think we're going to do it this way. I want to make sure it's all lined up. There we go. Like that. Cute. All right, so it comes off here a little bit, so I'm actually going to trim it to hide it. So we'll just trim that off. So if you have anything sticking out past your frame, you can trim it off. I guess I could zoom back in for you now that we're done. So you can trim it off. All right. And it's going to be going right here, but we don't want to put it on quite yet because we're not done with it. All right. And then what we're going to do is take some vellum, and not the fish bowl, not the bowl itself or the vase itself. We're going to use this. Now, if you have the dies, you could just cut it out. I don't have the dies, so I got to use this and trace it. So I'm going to stick mine up here, and just to give me less, let's zoom you in more. Just to give me less to cut, I'm going to put this top right there at the top of the vellum paper. And then I'm going to take my pencil and I'm going to just lightly trace around and get the shape of that bowl. Because now it's no longer a vase to me, it's a fish bowl. But I used to use a vase. Have any of you ever had a Siamese fighting fish? Comment Siamese fish. Or fighting if you just want to do that. If you ever had one of those, you know that you can just have them like goldfish in a jar or a glass, whatever. And I've used a long, skinny one that I had when Kitar brought home one. So we bought the fish bowl for it and everything, and then this last time we had one, we just put some plants in there with it. Of course, we had to put the plants through a hole in plastic wrap because the cat was trying to get to the fish, so we had to cover it. All right, so then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my Tahitian Tide Stampin' Blend and I'm going to make some water. All right, so I'm using the brush side and I'm just going back and forth, staying in the bottom part of this. And I'm not worried about it like being perfectly colored. I just want water, and I'm not doing like a flat line on top, and I'm going over it twice because I want it to, I guess I went over it 3 times. So it'll take a moment to dry, but this is the alcohol ink, so it doesn't take too long. So while it's drying, I'm going to go ahead and cut it out. And this time, and I need my glasses for this, this time I am cutting right on the line. Okay, right on the line. So I'm just going around, cutting right on my pencil line, because I don't really want the pencil line there. Although I am thinking I might outline it in black or maybe a blue. All right, there we go. So if you have the die, then you've got it easy peasy because all you have to do is die cut this out instead. I would recommend maybe just having an idea of where it is, color it first before you die cut it out. That way you could just go over the edges and not have to worry about. And then it's easier also to color on a larger piece of paper than color on this little itty bitty piece, which is why we traced it before cutting it. All right, so I've got a little bit of black on there, or pencil mark on there, so I want to erase that. All right. But I think I am going to take my black Stampin' Write marker and just kind of edge it. Just to give it that definition, but it's very fine. So it looks like not all my pencil came off, so that's okay. All right, so then we're just edging it. And notice I'm not using the tip of it, I'm using the sides and just running it down the sides. Oh, can you see that? Of the paper. All right, that just gives it a little definition. All right, now the fish. You can either use this stamp, okay, or what I did on my practice one yesterday is I just did these little fish. All right, so you can do either one. If you have this stamp set, these fish fit perfectly. All right, these fish fit perfectly in the bowl. All right, just like that. All right, and then you could even put a little bit of greenery or whatever in the bowl if you wanted. Now, if you don't have this stamp set, then you would need to draw them. And the way you can draw them, and I'll do a larger version for you, is you go straight down, come around like that, oops, and like that, and then you would color them in. All right, so tiny, you would go down, around, and up like that. All right, so since I have the stamp though, and I do already have a bowl, where's my practice bowl? A bowl with those, with hand-drawn fish, I'm going to see what it looks like with these guys. We're going to use the Calypso Coral to give them some color. Cute. All right. Now it takes a little while for the ink to dry on the fishbowl. All right, so you're going to want to be careful with touching it. Didn't think about that. Should have just drawn it with the alcohol ink. It goes a lot faster. Hi, Joanne. Nice to have you on here. Yes, beta. That's the one, a beta. All right. So then what we are going to do is we need something so that the fish tank isn't floating. So I just grabbed a piece of this and we're going to tuck it in here like that and glue it down to make it look like a bookshelf. All right. So that way it just looks like some kind of shelf that it's going to sit on. All right. And then you have to be careful where you put your adhesive. All right, if it's clear adhesive, it pretty much doesn't show. This is still wet. Yikes. Had not thought of that when I did those fish. Maybe I will use this one. It's already dry. Guess I should have reversed it. All right, so let's go ahead and cut this out real quick. Yeah, I wish I'd gotten the dies because I really like this fishbowl idea. Super cute. The fish she used from the Gone Fishing paper was actually quite big and filled the whole bowl. That's why I went looking for smaller ones. I looked through all of my past paper pumpkin kits, like all the way back to the beginning in the teens when I used to get it, and there were no fish whatsoever. And I couldn't remember, I don't think there are any fish in the kindness kit. No, what kit is it? I meant to double check that. Let me grab that kit. Nope, not seeing it. Where is it? Not seeing it. There's one where there's one kit that we have that has the starfish and the coral. So you could even add that. That has a stamp set with the coral, so you could use that as well if you have that stamp set. So here we go. Just going around the edge with this, just to give it a little bit of definition so you can really see it better on the white. All right. There we go. Is this one done? Nope, those are still wet. I don't know if you can see that. Those are still a little bit wet. See how they're kind of shiny? So I don't want to mess that up because if I touch it, it'll smear it. So we're going to go ahead and just put a little bit of the glue, and I'm going to put it behind the fish because they're darker. Like that. All right. You couldn't use you wouldn't be able to use dimensionals because of the fact that they would show through. Isn't that cute? Doesn't that look so cute? It totally looks like there. So I'm going to go with the Hello Friend again in the Calypso Coral to go with our fish and add a little spot of color. And we're just going to do that. Oh, whoops. I didn't clean it off. All right. So when you take a dark one, and you can see how it says hello right there, you want to wipe that off. Okay, you want to wipe that off. And so that says hello in Calypso Coral and, whoop. All right, where's my stamp cleaner? Here it is. Darn it. All right. Well, the hello is going to be dark, and I'm going to do friend in the lighter color then. All right, hello friend. And then we will put this on here so that it matches right there. So we know that we have to do adhesive above this line. So I'm going to put my thumb here and grab my adhesive. And I want to make sure I have it plenty on top, but not so much that it splooshes out, right? We don't want a lake up there. We just want a line or two. Line that up down here. Press that up down. Press that up here. And there we have a fun little masculine card. All right, masculine cards I think are hard for most people. I struggle with it at times too, to do a masculine card, but I thought this one would make a great masculine card with those fish. All right, how fun is that? What do you think? All right, so there's one card, and here is the other card. And to take either of them, both of them, up to the next level, then I would recommend embossing, using embossing folders to step it up. All right, so let's switch back. Oh, hold on before we do. our next kit for Paper Pumpkin. So the summer one is done. It's shipping already. So if you missed out, I'm so sorry that you missed out, but there's another one coming. And this one is called Show You Care. Send a message of loyalty with the blue flowers and encouragement with the lotus flowers. I can't remember what the blue ones are called. And you're going to get an extra stamp set, distinctive. So these lotus flowers are distinctive stamps, and that is a bonus stamp set. So instead of 2 inks, we're getting 2 stamp sets. Well, we may have 2 inks. We'll see. It didn't say. I think it's just 1 ink. So we'll have to see. We might have to use some of our own to do this. But you get a bonus stamp set. So there's going to be 2 stamp sets in Paper Pumpkin for August. This is the August. This is the August? Yes, this is the August kit. So you want to subscribe before August 10th for this kit. And remember, if you do prepaid, which the link is up above for prepaid, it qualifies for your bonus days where you get the $50. Spend $50, you get a $5 coupon. And just a reminder that I have 2 spots left, in 2 spots where I can guarantee the product left for the truck class. So if you want in on it, just comment truck class below and I will reach out to you to get your information. All right, and then we have the Christmas Kit Club locally and online coming up. If you want information on the Christmas Kit Club, then please comment Kit Club down below, or Christmas Kit Club might even be better. So we have some BYOKs coming up. Bring your own kits so that we can work on them. I will get those posts out so that you can see it and get signed up for it. And I think that's about it. So thank you so much for joining me, Joanne and Sharon. I appreciate you hanging in there with me. I trust you like the cards and maybe make them yourself. So I will put the measurements for the DSP here. Now it's down below this way. As soon as I get a chance. I do have a chiropractor appointment to go to see if he can help with my back. So I will see you all next time, and probably sooner rather than later. I'll post my new live schedule here later today. So have a great one, everybody. See you next time.